Josh, are you a tinned fish girly?
Please, Nicole, I'm a tin fish woman. Give me those sardines. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Mmm.
This
Yum, 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 yum. This is a hot dog is a sandwich.
Ketchup is a smoothie.
Yeah, I put ice in my cereal, so what?
That makes no sense.
Hot dog is a sandwich.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
Welcome to our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, the show we break down the world's biggest food debates. I'm your host, Josh Scher.
And I'm your host, Nicole Anaidi.
And today, Nicole, we're taking a little throwback to the mid-19th century where they first started packing fish into cans and sealing them up to be consumed later.
Women didn't have rights.
Women, yeah, they had certain rights, not for a while. They still are lagging.
They couldn't open credit cards.
Couldn't open credit cards in 1854 when they canned the first sardine in Portugal.
No.
That's true. They couldn't vote.
That's not
They
nice.
couldn't vote in I think it's not nice. They couldn't vote in Switzerland until I think the late 1950s.
Are you kidding me?
Luxembourg, I don't believe they could vote until 1971. Pretty incredible stuff, actually. Look
Wild.
that up. But anyways, we're talking all about the tinned fish movement. And
Right.
when I said I'm a tinned fish woman,
Right.
that was a reference to the fact that hot girls eat tinned fish. Now, Nicole,
That's
can you
true.
explain that to our audience?
Can you explain, are you calling me a hot girl who eats tinned fish?
I feel like you are. I'm not commenting on your looks. I'm merely asking if you identify as a hot tinned fish girly.
I'm a hot seafood girly.
Okay.
So I just like to go out and eat seafood.
Interesting.
So, I mean, tinned fish falls into that category. I think a lot of hot restaurants in LA right now do have a bit of a tinned fish craze. I mean, there's Found Oyster, there's Salty Girl, there's all these great places that have like conservas and like tinned fish, aside from like the classic, raw bar stuff.
Yeah.
So I think tinned fish is having a little bit of a renaissance right now, and people are obsessed with it.
Oh, big time renaissance. I have a question to pose to everybody. Everybody in the room weigh in. Maggie, you're included in this.
What's up?
When we say tinned fish, are we referring to a simple can of tuna?
No.
Are we referring to
clearly
a
we're
simple
not.
can of salmon?
Well, when you say simple, what do you mean by simple?
Because when I think of like the tinned fish movement, it's like the hot girl brands like Fishwife.
Fishwife is the hottest girl brand as of right now.
Fishwife is the hottest girl brand. So it was founded by Becca Milstein in, I think 2020. And a lot of this actually did weirdly coincide with COVID. COVID saw a big rise in tinned fish. Canned salmon spiked like 300% or something. And I don't 100% know how to explain that. Oh, yeah, I forgot we were doomsday preppers for a couple months, huh?
Oh, yeah. I was a bit. Do you know how many cans of salmon and tuna and like packets, like those Starkist?
Oh, yeah.
They're delicious. Those like Starkist packets I bought, insane.
You buy the packets instead of the cans?
I bought
It's so
packets
much-
and cans.
Well, the packets are so much less cost
There
effective.
was an emergency. What do
I
you
know,
mean?
we grabbed whatever we could, but I'm asking, like, when you say tinned fish girly, that does not refer to, like, I eat canned salmon or canned tuna. That refers to I am somebody who takes aesthetic and cultural value from a fancy or exotic seafood that has been preserved in a can many times with other flavoring agents added.
Well, that's not to say that there aren't delicious cans of canned salmon and canned tuna, but we're not talking about like chicken of the sea, starfish.
No.
That's another, I would almost consider that another food category.
I agree entirely.
Completely from like the tin fish craze that we're handling.
That's
right now.
canned fish.
Canned fish.
This is tinned fish.
That's a great point.
Right?
Yeah.
So now there's this big movement of people like spending a fair amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
looking
what is
at
it?
one of
A
them.
Fishwife variety pack? I think it's like 6 cans for $72.
It's expensive.
$12 for a tin of fish. But I'm saying it's now become a luxury thing, which is really interesting because, of course, the genesis of all this was,
Right.
I mean, one, it was trying to get food to troops, right?
Yeah, that's what
and so
canning was about, yeah.
cans of sardines were just sent out to troops in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Can of sardines in like a packed factory worker's lunch was super, super common back in the day. But now we seem to have superseded that, but it's almost this like ironic flip back in time.
So true. I think it has a lot to do with kids. Well, the way that I see it is I think a lot of the times we were raised on like PB&J sandwiches or ham and cheese sandwiches. And the fact that we can make our own lunches and make it aesthetic, like you said, like make a little bento box. And like you can eat a can of sardines and like I don't know, there's like a level of like aesthetics and like cuteness that goes with it. And then I also think there's another side where people are talking about eating more protein in their diets, and a can of sardines has like 20 grams of protein.
I don't think it has anything to do with the protein, though.
Really?
I
do. Well, that's why I eat it. That's why I've started eating sardines more recently. It's because they're an easy source of protein. And they don't taste bad. I used to think they tasted bad, but I think I'm 31 now, and I'm okay with eating sardines.
I don't think this has anything to do with convenience anymore. I don't think it has anything to do with nutrition anymore. No, this has to do simply
with Instagram?
With hot girl aesthetics, right? I think this is like post-ironic, what is it, dime square, like...
Dimes? Well, I don't know
the hot girls wearing the Harley Davidson thrifted shirts.
Are you talking about Visco girls?
Like, no, but this is post that, right? This is now like the Gen Z post-ironic. I'm wearing a 90s band t-shirt that I've never seen. Not to name any coworkers, but someone was wearing a Tool crop top.
And they didn't
know
3 songs by Tool?
Well, no, and that's fine. That's fine, because I know if you say that, if you ask, hey, if you actually listen to that band, then you're like the worst person in the world.
I have a rule that I don't wear shirts of bands unless I actually know their music. That's my rule.
I think the tinned fish craze is somehow connected to ironic late 90s nu metal band
like
t-shirts.
Deftones?
Correct. I think they're same. I'm dead serious. Wait for me.
The Deftone girlies are eating tinned fish.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But can you break that down? Because you're around a lot more like hot girls than I am. And I don't mean hot girls as in like I find them physically attractive. I mean
hot girls I hang out with do not enjoy tinned fish. No, the hot girls I'm around don't enjoy tinned fish. They don't.
Fascinating.
I'm sorry. I know I give off that vibe that I'm around those kinds of people, but I really don't. I'm the only tinned fish enjoyer out of my hot group of girlfriends.
You're kind of currently wearing, this is like an ironic...
Name 3 songs by YouTube.
Gangnam Style, Baby Shark, Despacito.
That's right. That's pretty good.
What has been your favorite tinned fish experience? Like, sell me on your fancy tinned fish that you have really loved.
Okay, so recently I went to Sprouts the other day, and it was my day off, and I'm like, I am going to be the coolest stay-at-home mother of none right now. And so I literally bought 1 can of Fishwife preserved lemon. It's sardines and preserved lemons. And I'm like, okay, I've never tried this before. It was like $11. And I'm like, oh, fine, I'll spend $11. And then I also bought some anchovies from another company. I was like, oh, the can looks cute, whatever, I'll just get it. Because I use a lot of anchovies when I cook. But I was like, I'm going to have a sardine salad today, okay? So I go home. I make myself a salad with these beautiful butter lettuce greens. I make a really beautiful, like, mayonnaise-y, lemony dressing with, like, sumac. I mandolin some radishes. I put some cornichons in there. And I had some leftover potatoes. So I almost made, like, a pseudo-niçoise salad.
With the preserved lemon?
With the preserved lemon sardines.
Shoot.
And I just ate this salad. And I was sitting in my balcony. And I'm like, this is what life is about. Like, this is what life should be. I should be able to do this every single day of my life. Eat salad with sardines at a balcony.
I think, one, that sounds beautiful.
Doesn't it?
And I love the stay-at-home mother of none.
And I was with my kitties. Meow, meow.
I have this obsession with like trying to make nostalgic foods as good as possible, right? That's kind of the impetus behind shows like Fancy Fast Food that we do.
Sure.
Where it's like, I love the Western bacon cheeseburger from Carl's Jr. Right?
Who doesn't?
I think it's iconic.
I love that. Yeah.
One of the best like architectured burgers in history. Sure. And then you ask yourself, what if you use the best possible bacon, the best possible ingredients for barbecue sauce, and try and do that?
Right.
I think the tinned fish thing for me, because I have enjoyed it. I don't mean to poo-poo it here. There are tinned fishes that I've had that are like utterly spectacular, and I will do stuff like I'll make a tuna melt, sort of form with a really good tinned fish, and it adds something very different.
Right.
In a way, the best tinned fish I've ever had is from Fishwife, and it was a collab, which this is awesome. It's like crossover events. It was like when Audio Slave was formed after Chris Cornell, R.I.P. I visited his grave this past week, actually.
Oh my God, I was listening to him on the way to work today. I was listening to Doesn't Remind Me of Anything on the way to work today.
You know, Chris Cornell, boom, hooking up with the band from Rage Against the Machine, Tom Morello going, whap, 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 on Like a Stone. Incredible. That was this tin of fish for me. It was Fly by Jing and Fishwife.
This isn't sponsored by Fishwife, by the
No,
way.
it's not. No, but they're responsible.
They're the epitome of hot girl tin
They're the
fish.
epitome of hyperbole.
Is it epitome?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
It's anyways, they are, like you said, they're the epitome of like the hot girl tin fish movement because they have really aesthetic cans and they make a really premium product.
Really delicious.
And they understand their branding, they understand their audience, which is why when they collabed with the hottest chili crisp maker, Fly by Jing.
Oh yeah.
Hot smoked salmon with chili crisp tucked in a can. And it's not like the same as if I were to have just taken smoked salmon and mixed it with chili crisp because it all infuses in there. It infuses the oils in there.
It was almost candied, right?
It was almost, it was just like, God, super sweet and nutty, but
Sweet,
aromatic.
nutty, firm, spicy, yeah.
And I get it. That was the tinned fish that made me believe in all tinned fishes.
That's awesome.
And I, whipped it up with a little bit of mayonnaise, had some, I don't know, like a fontina or something that wasn't going to be too salty and
Cheese and
overpower the
fish.
smoke. Cheese and fish is an incredible combo. And I made a little freaking salmon tuna melt with it, and it ruled. But similar thing with like a niçoise salad, but here's an ultra premium ingredient that rules.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I've been seeing a lot on the internet. People have you seen this where people light paper towels over their tinned fish to smoke it?
No.
Have you never seen? We actually did this ourselves. Lily, V, and I made a TikTok where we literally lit a paper towel on fire over the oil of some anguillas, which we can talk about anguillas after
We can talk
this.
about anguillas.
But it literally, it's like this slow burn, and I don't know if it's safe. I'm going to be honest with you.
You're just lighting paper towels.
Yeah, we're lighting paper towels on fire and then consuming the food that is inside of the tin that the paper towel was burning over the top. But to be fair, paper towels are just bleached wood pulp.
I didn't know what paper towels were.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I taught you something today?
Yeah.
Well, look at me. But yeah, we did that. And let me just say, the virality of this thing of lighting paper towels on top of tinned fish has also made it incredibly popular too for the algorithm. That's all I wanted to say.
It's not that I dislike Deftones, sure, but there's
I
like a
don't-
couple other bands that like
I don't know any Deftones songs.
I want to My Own Summer, also known as Shove It. Shove it, shove it, shove it. Cold Chamber. Why? I feel like more people should care about Cold Chamber. More people should care about Snot. Snot by Snot.
Of course I do.
Snot! That song?
Yeah, I told you, of course I do.
It's a good song. I got a question about the tin fish movement.
Oh, but can you tell people about Angulas before you could
Oh,
talk about
Angulas. Angulas
This
are...
is Josh's favorite tin fish, or the one he likes to talk about most.
It's my favorite tin fish, or the one I like to talk about most. Mostly because they were featured in the season 2 finale by Chef Ilan Hall of Top Chef. He
cool.
broke them out, and they are tiny baby eels from Spain. I think we mentioned them once on a TikTok, and someone said that they're bad for the environment. I don't know about all that.
Sorry.
But they're...
I gotta apologize.
Oops.
Big oopsie from us over here at Mythical Kitchen.
I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. But anyways, they're baby eels, and they're like tiny, tiny, tiny. They're the size of like little maggots. And
They
you
kind
can
of look
see...
like pinworms.
They look like pinworms. You see the little eyeballs, and that's it. It's an eyeball and a slightly translucent thing of flesh.
Right.
It's like the size of a grain of rice. You put it on some toast, some crusty bread, olive oil, and eat it. And like they're pretty good.
I liked it.
They're not like the best
We
thing in
had
the
it
world.
together.
Yeah, they sell imitation anguillas as well,
Nice.
which is just like surimi that they've sort of riced up to be
And
the
then they
size of
put little
anguillas.
eyes on them, like beep beep.
But it's very expensive. And you and I went to a restaurant.
We went to Salty Girl.
And it's Salty Girl. Salty Girl it has a wine list of tinned fish, like
Yeah.
all the regions broken out, all the types of fish. There's
Really
probably
cool.
100 different tins of fishes.
Right.
It is really cool, but we got 3 tinned fishes, probably all at an average like $35.
Which is highway robbery.
highway robbery. We were balling.
We were having a good time. We were having a good time.
We were having a
Sometimes
great-
we're going to spend money, Josh.
You
It's-
know,
it's part,
drinking a
it's a
little
part of it's a
bit.
part of life. Sometimes you got to
We
spend
all
it.
shared a single bowl of clam chowder.
Romantic.
Do you remember the tin fishes that we had? And what they
don't.
tasted like?
I don't remember anything from that night. I remember we went up to the house at the Hollywood Hills. That's all I remember.
And I just kept asking for Krayshawn to be played.
oh my god.
But what I'm saying is like,
I don't remember how any of them
I don't think
tasted.
even had you been entirely sober, I don't think you would have remembered any of them. They
It
were
wasn't
all
memorable.
somewhat unmemorable bites. And they were served with like a fun little herb salad and grilled bread and little pickled thingy things.
That was fun. Yeah, I
It was
remember that
fine.
part.
But to me, like, I am never again paying for a restaurant markup on tinned fish like that.
I don't think
Ever
I will
again.
again. I don't think I will again unless it's like a special occasion.
What special, like Arbor Day?
What do you mean?
Jacques Cousteau's birthday?
Like if someone's like, oh, like
the Gordon Fisherman died?
someone's like, oh, for my birthday, I want to have like a tinned fish birthday.
You're the only one that would do that. You just established that you're your only friend who would do that. Are you planning on doing that?
Maybe. My birthday's May 28th. Don't forget it. But maybe it's, that's right. If I do go out with, I'm just being crazy. Don't listen to me. I'm just being a silly, goofy girl.
How much do you think the advertising of tinned fish not only affects you, but also has affected Soul?
100%.
Almost 1,000%.
Almost 100%.
Just tell them about Fishwife's aesthetic. It's beautiful.
If Fishwife's beautiful freaking containers did not have those wispy things and they didn't look like tattoos from like the 1940s, like sailor tattoos.
They look like Americana tattoos.
They look like, is that what they're called?
I think there's like a style. It's like American Classic or something.
American Classic.
Like pinup girl style.
As someone who watches a lot of, what's that show with Dave Navarro?
Oh, like Ink Masters.
As someone who watches a lot of Ink Master when she's like doing her makeup in the mornings. I don't watch it. I just listen to it. Let me tell you, the packaging sells me every single time. It does. I don't even care what's in it half of the time. It's the packaging that really sells me.
You're listening to Ink Masters reruns while doing your makeup?
It's just nice to listen to in the background.
Isn't most of the value seeing their tattoos?
Yeah, sometimes I glance over. I like I'm like mid eyeliner and I'm like, oh, that
How
does look
long
nice.
have you been doing this?
Years, like 2 years.
You're telling me that every morning you wake up and you just listen to Dave Navarro's
Not every morning.
excellent host. He's an excellent host.
Not every. I also listen to Dead Meat. What do you mean? I need to have something to do.
There's actually a fascinating history behind designing canned fishes.
Oh, really?
Which is incredible. Like a lot of the canned fish stuff started in the late 19th century in Portugal or all along Iberia. And when we think of tinned fish, we think a lot of Portugal and Spain.
Me and you do, yes.
When we all think of tinned fish. When you think of tinned fish, you probably think of chicken of the sea. But in like the 1920s, there was one like advertising visual artist dude in Portugal that started designing custom labels for fish canneries.
Rad.
Which is really rad. And so it kind of became known for the style. And a lot of Fishwife's products kind of harken back to that. And you'll still see that all across Europe with these older brands.
Yeah, Ortiz has really beautiful. It's like yellow and it has like a little sail ship, right? A little blue sail ship. Yeah, Ortiz is great.
If tinned fish is of the moment in 2024 right now, and sales are projected to rise like north of $10 billion going into like the 2030s, but there's going to be something else.
I know what it is.
To replace it. What is it?
Potted meat.
Potted meat? Bring it back. What's your favorite potted meat?
I don't have one yet.
Not yet. Not Hormel corned beef?
Let me tell you, I haven't delved into it because it's scary. It scares me.
Do you actually think potted meat? I don't think potted meat's actually going to be.
I think if it's sold the right way, anything is possible. I think if you slap the right label on it, anything is possible.
I think maybe like liver patés could come back.
Well, isn't that like potted meat?
It's like potted meat, but potted. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Because you could do like what's that one thing that I don't really like? The one that always tastes like tuna salad, even though it's made from pork?
Rillettes.
Rillette.
I love rillette.
You could do charcuterie, because that's what like the stuff we're talking about, right? Like you would go to a fancy restaurant and you would get some sort of smoked trout marinated in chili oil, blah, 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 served to stuff. But then now they're doing that and they're putting it into cans.
Yeah.
Things you also used to get at fancy restaurants. People just simply aren't going out as much. I think that's, why we saw canned fish really blow up during the pandemic. And then people kind of realized, I can sit in my home a lot more and do stuff like that. Entire charcuterie board stuff just tucked in a can.
Maybe people are going to start, doing their own sausages. People are doing that whole homesteader thing.
And do ya?
People like make their own sourdough now.
Damn.
People like to make their own cookies with sourdough discard and whatnot. Maybe people are going to start making their own like salumi in their house.
I'm not even making. I'm saying like brands that could do it really well.
Yeah, make it cool
and market it that. I feel like I would be very liable to buy that.
You don't buy salami in your house, do you?
No, but I'm not even saying salami. Like I'm saying stuff like a liver pate.
Yeah,
right.
It's possible,
but in a can, so it's cool. You design the cans all nice. You have an anthropomorphic pig on there. It's kind of like cutting out its own belly.
That's a little bit sad.
Oh no, I think it's cool.
But I think potted meat and liver pates will probably make a comeback.
I think we need to make canned vegetables cool again.
Don't see that happening.
What? But like you can do cool stuff with canned vegetables that you couldn't do.
Though.
What do you mean it's expensive?
I'm saying like people would, the markup for the canned vegetables being fancified a la Fishwife, I don't see that.
You don't think people would spend money on vegetables, but you do see them spending money on fish.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I think fish can be seen as like almost a luxury to some people.
It's really interesting how canned tuna is so cheap.
It is.
Right? For the amount of like protein and nutrients and fish flesh that you're getting, it's so incredibly cheap.
Yeah.
It's shocking that Fishwife, and there's other brands. Fishwife has been my Roman Empire for quite a minute now. But like they were able to take a product that was incredibly cheap and then just like really make it expensive without people completely dropping off and going like, hey, that's canned fish. That should be cheap.
Sure.
It's incredibly turned something that was commodity to luxury.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the glass bottle tunas?
Dude.
How do you feel about glass bottle tunas?
Oh, man. Last glass bottle tuna I had was really good, dude.
I know. I buy it on sale.
And there's a big quality difference.
I swear it's like night and day.
Damn.
Like the thick, like you can literally take the tuna out of the glass and it's like you see the actual like flakes of fish.
Yeah,
Whenever you get
the loins kind of whole.
it's gorgeous.
Big slices.
It's gorgeous. Whenever you get the canned stuff, sometimes it's just like mush. It's pulverized mush.
Up.
It doesn't really hit the same. Like I would feel comfortable putting a glass tuna out on like a board, like a food board, like not a charcuterie board, but like a tinned fish board. I'd feel comfortable doing that, but I wouldn't do that with like Starkist or whatever.
Should we throw a tinned fish party?
I think it's only fair.
Maggie, would you come?
Of course.
We should do that. I think the problem is I haven't fully leaned into it because I'm obviously tinned fish curious, right?
Okay.
I've had like meaningful tinned fish experiences, but I don't know if I'm, really ready to dip and tell the way in. Mm-hmm. I just think I need to like really dive in.
Okay.
Fully into the deep end of this tinned fish thing.
I mean, Lily, and I, whenever we have an extra can of tinned fish, we go absolutely feral for it.
Like gargoyles come to life.
Truly, you should see. We get bread, we get lemons, we get whatever we have, and Calabrian chilies and crackers, and we go ham, and it's the best. And we eat with our hands. It's feral, and you can come next time.
I would love that.
You're invited.
What are your top couple favorite tinned fishes, like in terms of the actual animal that they tin?
Okay.
Because there's a lot that they're doing out there. I've had some terrible like tinned uni. Don't know why that exists.
I can't.
Tinned razor clams just taste like rubber bands to me. They're so tough. But what are like the good things to tin and the bad things to tin?
I think anchovies are great to tin. I love eating them. I eat them out of the
And those
jar.
are heavily salt cured,
yes,
right?
Yes. Salt cured ones. I don't like the boquerones.
Boquerones.
I don't love boquerones that much. I like the really salty, oily, like blackish dark ones.
Yeah, boquerones are like fresher
Meaty.
and whole, right?
And they're meatier, which
Yeah.
some people like. But to be honest, I just love that salty, oily, umami anchovy flavor paired with like a cracker or like a piece of cheese or something like that. Yeah, so I love anchovies. I love mackerel, canned mackerel, tinned mackerel. I love. There's this great one, I forgot
mackerel
the brand
keeps
of
the
it.
skin on,
I
but like
love it.
Yeah.
Mackerel, you can eat the bones too, which is fun.
Yeah.
I love mackerel. I got this, I don't even know what brand it was. It was like a Mediterranean mackerel with olives and like tomato and sun-dried tomato. I don't even like sun-dried tomatoes, but sun-dried tomatoes, olives, oregano, really good quality olive oil. That was great. And then honestly, I just love that lemon preserve sardine that I had. I still think about it and I'm like, do I really want to spend $11, $12 on this? Yes, I do. So that's probably my other favorite.
I had a really great canned smoked oyster the other day.
I've never actually had a canned oyster before or smoked oyster.
You know what I think what tinned fish needs to accomplish is it has to be something that can like only be done in a tin. Because otherwise, like, you get a can of tuna. If we're talking about superseding the idea of convenience into luxury, right? Because convenience, I don't have to buy a tuna fillet and cook it and chill it and shred it, whatever. I can buy a can of that, open it, mix it with mayonnaise, slap it on bread. That's convenience, and it's like delicious enough. Right? But with like the fancy tinned fish, this needs to be something like I can't do on my own. It only can happen in a tin.
I see what you're saying.
So something like tinned smoked oysters are incredible because you get a smoked oyster that like is sort of dehydrated from the smoke. And then you pop that in a can with oil, with flavorings, and it creates just like this perfect schmearable thing that you can put on bread that is unlike any other experience. That's a purely unique experience. It's not just like a fancy, anchovy or whatever from a different region in Spain. There's been like craft and strategy into this can.
I really want to I've never tried like smoked shellfish. I think I've only tried fish. I've never had the luxury of trying.
You weren't gobbling down the cockles at Salty Girl when you went there?
Oh yeah, I had cockles.
We were all gobbling cockles that day.
Oh my God.
The cockles were really good.
The gobbling of the cockles. My God, the cockles were gobbled.
We went on a cockle gobbling rampage.
That's right.
No, we were
like
really
cockle
fighting.
goblins.
We were
It was crazy.
fighting over the cockles.
Oh my God,
We really were.
I don't remember. I just flashback. Those were like brined nicely. They weren't like typical tinned in oil. They were like brined.
And it was
like,
good, right? Did you enjoy
seawater.
it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. Gobbled them
It
like
was a little. It was chewy. It was a little chewy.
It was a little chewy, right?
Chewy for me.
Like canned clams are really common, and you make a clam chowder at home, you dump in a can of clams, but it's never actually good. The canned clams are never actually good. They're always chewy.
Well, I don't go searching for clam chowder the way that you think I would. I'm sorry. I'm different now.
Like you said, you're a seafood girly. Like I'm more of an untinned fish girly.
I'm telling you, I'm a seafood girl, but I'm not the biggest tinned fish girl. Tell them what we did last week or last month when we went to eat oysters by the beach.
Oh my God, we went to the greatest place in the history of the earth. We were up in Napa for the Cookbook Fest, which is a fantastic event.
Josh's fiance was there too.
My fiance was there too.
I was third wheeling.
We were all there.
It felt
Anyways, Nicole made it weird by saying that. I think
it wasn't weird. It's the truth.
We took this incredibly romantic drive up the coast to Tomales Bay and went to a place called the Marshall Store. And we got a dozen raw oysters, and you can see them dragging in oysters from Tomales Bay. It's right next to a more famous spot called Hog Island, but I like the Marshall Store. And then we got 6 barbecued oysters Rockefeller with the spinach and with the cheese. And then we got 6, what were they called?
Oysters Kilpatrick.
Oysters Kilpatrick.
They changed. I think that was like one of the best things I've had this year.
Barbecued with Worcestershire and bacon. And they served it with crusty grilled garlic bread. And you take the barbecued fresh oyster with the Worcestershire on it, and you just take the bread and you smear it on. You get the oyster liquor on the bread, and we got that lovely sparkling Albarino.
Oh my God, that was really nice.
Ugh, so good, right? Everyone goes through champagne. No, give me a sparkling Albarino. It was dry, it was crisp.
Yeah, same thing.
It was beautiful. It was 11 a.m.
That's right. We had that salad, the smoked salmon salad.
A little smoked salmon salad.
We were living.
It was smoked steelhead trout salad.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
But the point is, like, seafood, fresh seafood.
More people eat seafood.
It's one of the most beautiful things on earth, right?
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite meals I've ever had.
Do you think if we had like a melange of tinned fish that would expand our experience or miniaturize our experience? Yeah, if they had it.
I think it would have taken away from the experience because that's like one of the things about seafood, right? Is that it's so much better fresh.
It really is better fresh.
Tinned seafood, right? Convenience, all that. But we've now superseded the idea of convenience in society. We're post-history, right? We're at the point where you can get sushi in the desert that's really high quality due to deep freezes and all that.
Right.
So I guess that might be like my only initial issue with tinned fish. Again, you're making a different product when you smoke it and you preserve it, yada, yada. But like nothing is going to beat just a raw oyster fresh out the bay.
A raw oyster versus a smoked oyster? Let me tell you, I've never had a smoked oyster, but I'm going to pick the raw oyster almost every single time.
We got to answer the question, is tinned fish overrated?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We have not reached the inflection point.
Nope, not yet. We're almost there, though. We're at the apex. Anything can happen.
Again, I think we're seeing a bunch of the tinned fish curious climb up to the ledge and decide if they really want to take the plunge, right? And I think we haven't reached that point yet, but we're definitely rising to it.
Can't wait.
And I'm curious to see where it goes. And until then, we're banking on Potted Meat 2030.
That's right.
Coming to town. We should start our own, dude.
What?
Starting our own Potted Meat brand?
I don't think we're allowed to.
Nicole.
What's up, buddy?
I got a trip coming up.
Where are you going?
5 days across the island of Sardinia.
Stop.
And here's the thing.
No way.
I know nothing about Sardinia. I've never been to Italy at all. I took 1 semester of Italian in college and had roommates that were from Italy for a couple months, but I've completely lost any language. But I really want to at least be able to do the basics. I want to be able to ask for a check, ask for directions, order the food, and also learning a new language is just great for personal development.
Well, that's where Rosetta Stone comes in. Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program. It's available on desktop or as an app, and it truly immerses you in the language you want to learn.
Yeah, I wasn't too good in classrooms. But
Me either.
Rosetta Stone has a built-in true accent feature that gives you feedback on your pronunciation. Rosetta Stone listens as you speak another language and can tell if you're totally crushing it or if you need some extra work. It's like having a personal trainer for your accent.
For extra immersion, there's no English translation, so you really learn to speak, listen, and think in that language. It's made to help with long-term retention by using intuitive processes, by first teaching you words, then phrases, then sentences.
Io preferisco spaghetti. I think that
good.
means I like spaghetti. With our promo code, you can get a lifetime membership to Rosetta Stone with access to all 25 languages they have for 50% off. They offer Spanish, French, Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, Arabic, Polish, and more. It's a really great deal.
Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a very limited time, a Hot Dog is a Sandwich listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/hotdog.
That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/hotdog today. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
If you're anything like me, your schedule is packed with social gatherings, big work projects, and so much more. It's easy to let your priorities slip. It's tough to juggle at times. But when you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. I personally take time once every 2 weeks to talk to my therapist to really ground myself and have someone to bounce ideas off of.
I also do the same thing. For me, non-negotiable number one, gym.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta blast the metal music while getting all the energy out of your body. But then two, also therapy. I've also become a bi-weekly therapy guy. And honestly, BetterHelp was a huge part of me starting therapy because I'm someone who really struggles to book appointments. But the fact that there was an app that I could literally just click with my thumbs
Right.
until I was finally connected to a therapist. I'd been waiting years to start therapy, but I kept putting it off until BetterHelp.
Therapy isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself, no matter your background.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, it's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge.
Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/hotdog today to get 10% off your first month.
That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/hotdog.
Well, all right, Nicole. We've heard what you and I have to say. Now it's time to find out whether wack Yetis are rattling out there in the universe. It's time for a little segment we call
Opinions Are Like Casseroles. You always ride my coattails. Why don't you let me shine?
I do
Just
it.
let
You
a
know,
woman
Nicole,
shine.
you think.
Oh, opinion. Opinions are like casseroles. Was that so hard?
Do you want to do another take? No? You're satisfied with that? That was what you consider to be your best effort.
Don't laugh, Maggie. Don't laugh.
Before we get to Opinions Are Like Casseroles, which as we all know is people's third favorite segment, we're going to jump straight to your fifth favorite segment, which is called Review a Review. This is where we try and bait you into writing more positive reviews on Apple Reviews, which might help the podcast. We don't exactly know how.
I don't know.
This one is written by Akachandis, and they gave us 5 stars. They said, great podcast, great hosts. In each episode, you're guaranteed to laugh, be entertained, and learn something new about food science or history. One of my favorite podcasts.
I give this a 3.5. Stop being so obsessed with us.
3.5 as well, but this sounds like it was written by an AI bot that I programmed to write a positive review once every 3 weeks.
No, but really, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
It means a lot.
Still, you're getting only 3.5 stars.
Hey, Josh and Nicole. It's Alex. I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Dirty
and
tea.
my hot take is that no one really likes candy canes. The peppermint candy canes at Christmas
yeah.
time. Does anyone actually eat them? I don't think so.
No.
I do enjoy the other flavors. Like they have Sour Patch and Skittles and all these other flavored candy canes. But the peppermint ones, no, thank you. Bye.
Yeah, someone's propping up the peppermint candy cane industry.
Oh, interesting. Well, I like how you can whittle it into a shiv.
Yeah.
with your mouth.
It's one of the best stabbing candies.
What that mouth do? Make her shiv out of candy canes.
And it does. I've seen it. A great stabbing candy, a pretty bad eating candy.
But the thing is, I love peppermint things. Like, I've always loved, like, little peppermints, like the little pillowy, the little pillowy ones that you get from the MGM Grand?
The Buttermints. I've never been to the MGM Grand. That's a weird reference.
That's the only place I've ever had them. I love them.
The ones that you can crunch there. And they
Yeah. They're just like, I love that. I love the little pinwheels.
But what about the Starlight mints? The ones that are the sort of, no, they're like the red and white ones with the stripes. They're a circular hard
the round
candy.
ones.
Yeah, the round ones.
Yeah, I like those.
Well, that's the thing. Here's the thing. Round things can fit in your mouth pretty easily.
Yeah.
At that size.
Yeah.
This long cane structure, it's one of the worst structures to try and eat.
I know, but it's meant for hanging on the mantle with your little stockings.
That's great. Don't make it edible. Make enough inedible candy cane shaped and colored things out of plastic, hang them on your tree, and then never eat them again. They don't need to exist. I agree with that.
But it's so fun. You can go like, it's funny.
Yeah, you can fish hook your own mouth with a candy. Again, none of this is appealing as far as something to consume on Christmas. This is a great take.
I listed 2 fun things to do with it. That's pretty good.
And they're like, we made the sour candy canes, and it's like, give me something I can fit in my mouth. What are we doing here? I agree. I think that we're built a ziggurat on false promises.
Okay, you sound like the Grinch. Sorry.
Jim Carrey did an excellent portrayal.
Hello, my name is Les from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
And welcome to Movie Phone.
My hot take is that all melons and anything that tastes like melons is a terrible time. They all taste like crunchy, rotten water. Watermelon, honey melon, or honeydew. See, I don't even know what they're called. Kiwi, cucumber.
What?
It's all trash.
Kiwi, cucumbers are
crunchy,
not
rotten
melons.
water. Bye-bye. Love the show.
My guy doesn't like fruits.
My guy got a mellifluous voice, though.
What a gorgeous voice. You should do voiceovers. What are you doing calling us? You should be calling all the agents in Los Angeles and Hollywood, baby.
Nicole will make you a big star. You have to be willing to do anything.
I'll make you a star, baby. I was going to bring back the candy canes, but I decided against.
No more talking about candy canes. Melons, cucumbers, kiwis. I think those are all different things.
I just think he doesn't like fruit.
I think he doesn't like fruits. But no, melons do have a specific, when he talks about like tasting like kind of dirty water.
I like it though.
Rot water. I like the rot water.
I like the rot water.
I would bet that you probably don't like papayas either. Papayas also
papayas.
have these tropical fruits that like produce ethylene
Dead
super
body
quickly.
taste.
They give you the dead body taste. Durian is the king
I
of that.
love durian.
That's a very equatorial fruit.
Yeah.
I like all those. Some people, you might be a super taster. You might be someone who has a very sensitive olfactory senses,
Right.
Which would cause you to not want that. But I love when I bite into a sweet melon and I get that little rotten corpse flavor.
I do too. I think it tastes delicious. And I love melon, like ice cream bars. Have you read them from the Japanese
Yeah.
market? I love little little melon fizzy candies that are also from the Asian market. I just like melon flavored things all the time.
The honeydew flavor at Yogurtland is maybe my favorite flavor of all time.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've had it.
Love melons. There's nothing better than ripe honeydew, and there's nothing harder to find in the world than a ripe
Well,
honeydew.
I wouldn't say honeydew's the best. But also, I was raised in a cantaloupe home. Like, my mom would, this is how my mom showed her love. She would literally chop up cantaloupes, and then she would make little bite sections for me to eat the cantaloupes.
Incredible.
Isn't that cute? Like, she would, it would literally, she would be like, Nicole, look, bloop, and then I would just laugh and laugh.
What was it like to feel the love of a mother?
It's great.
Incredible,
It's great.
Should've
Sorry.
tried
Sorry. No, I feel bad.
There's some new melons. Sugar Kiss melons. Those are great. Go out there, try it. Give melons an earnest chance, I say.
Hey, Josh, Nicole. Just recently found your podcast.
Thanks for
you.
stopping
I
by.
just wanted to say,
Thanks.
I got 2 words for you.
Okay.
Buffalo chicken Alfredo.
Those is more
Sorry,
than two.
my Danny DeVito isn't quite on point.
That was Danny DeVito?
Anyway, thanks.
Mm.
That was the best Danny DeVito impression I've ever
Was
heard.
it?
Or at least the third
pretty bad.
best Tommy DeVito impression I've ever heard.
I don't know Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito started a couple games for the New York Giants, and he played his football, I believe, at Syracuse. He may have transferred to Illinois, but anyways, Italian-American kid, and this is the best part about the story, is he grew up 8 miles from the giant stadium, so he literally lived at home with his mom.
Nice.
Because, quote, she made the best chicken cutlets.
Yeah, why wouldn't
And
you?
then he commuted to his professional football quarterback job.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And I love that. Tommy DeVito, American hero.
Tommy
That's a better Tommy DeVito
I'm
impression.
sure he was saving his money to buy him and his mother a nice place later.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Now, we got to talk about buffalo chicken Alfredo.
Yum, give me that. Yum, yum, eat it up. Give me that all day, every day, 3 times a day.
I think we need to completely divorce ourselves from any Italian food traditions.
Okay.
Right?
You go ahead.
Pasta, like I heard somebody the other day go like, I would die for cacio e pepe. And it's like, cacio e pepe.
Would
to
you?
me, I don't think they would. I think they're
wouldn't
bluffing.
die
I think they're bluffing.
I wouldn't die for any food dish.
Like carne asada burrito, San Diego style, I'd die for
Like,
it.
die for it?
I'd lay down my life, yeah.
Oh.
You know? For
My
the idea of
priorities
it.
have changed. Just a little.
No, but you know what I mean? Like these pasta dishes like chicken fettuccine Alfredo, they're good.
I love
and they
chicken.
have nothing
I
to
love
do with
it.
nothing to do with Italian food. I
And
know
that's okay.
Alfredo was technically invented in Rome, yada yada. But
Mm-hmm.
not the kind that we make, and especially you take buffalo sauce, which is just acid,
Mm.
heat, and like cream and fat, right? And you put that on the chicken. It plays with everything. It
I
cuts
wanna
through the
eat
starch.
that.
It gives some zing to the protein. That is absolutely incredible. I would make a buffalo chicken Alfredo, and I would like toast up some garlicky breadcrumbs, and I'd put that on top, almost giving it like a half a chicken cutlet kind of vibe.
Chicken
And mix
cutlets.
that throughout the pasta. Maybe put some parsley, a little bit of chives in there to lighten it up a little bit. Damn.
I would love to eat whatever you just said, but I would probably do it a little bit differently, but that's okay.
Do we think though that buffalo Alfredo is better than Cajun Alfredo? Because
Yes.
Cajun Alfredo,
Yes,
why?
because of the acid.
Yeah,
The acid and the tang
the spice needs the acid.
marries with the sauce of the Alfredo sauce and the starch of the pasta. And it's just perfect. I don't love Cajun Alfredo.
What?
I don't love it.
I thought I knew you.
You don't know anything about me. I don't know. I think buffalo. And you know what I would do to make it a little bit crazy? I would add a little bit of Hidden Valley Ranch packet to my Alfredo.
Oh shoot, dude. Oh my god.
That's what
you
I
do
would
a little
do.
like brunoise of
That's-
pickled carrot.
That's
and
what I would do.
celery.
That's what I would do. Crazy
know?
old me. I would add half a packet of the Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning packet to the Alfredo, and then I would take my chicken and I would fry the ever living F out of it, maybe with cornflakes because I'm crazy. Chop it up and then just like squiggle sauce. And then just put like a crap ton of chives on the top, and then a little bit of like I almost want to shave carrots on it.
Shoot, I take 12 pounds of chicken bones, right? Not the meat. The meat you're going to confit. The bones you're going to roast off. You're going to turn that into stock. You're going to reduce that stock to about a cup. That's going to get you your chicken demi. You take that chicken demi, you pop that in a saucepan, you glaze it with a little bit of cream, you toss the pasta in there, finish with a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's new buffalo sauce. Not Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce, Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo
I
sauce.
like that one. I like that
You're
one.
going to take all the skin from all that, the meat and the bones that you removed, and you take that skin, and you're going to lay it out flat. You're going to put that in a low oven until it crisps up. You're going to take that, you're going to blitz it, Nicole, with a little bit of panko and a little bit of Parmesan frico. You're going to add those breadcrumbs on top of that chicken jus with a little bit of that confit in the buffalo pasta. Boom.
That sounds pretty good. So passionate. So intense. That was really intense.
I'm also really hungry. I want to make dinner.
White chocolate is better.
Yes! Yes!
Is that it?
I agree.
I love white chocolate.
White chocolate is,
I
well,
love white chocolate.
I don't know about better, but I think white chocolate needs more respect than it gets.
White chocolate tastes so good.
And it's like, do you think white chocolate is chocolate? I don't think
Didn't
we've
we talk
ever
about-
talked
yes,
about
we
that on the
did.
podcast.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
did we
we
really? We
did.
did it as white chocolate. We did it as chocolate candy, certainly. I don't
I'm
think we ever
pretty
did it as
sure
white chocolate.
Well, we've definitely had a tangent or two if we
We
haven't
teased
had
it.
an actual podcast. I think white chocolate, as someone who's worked at a chocolate store, white chocolate's definitely freaking chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. It's the same format. It doesn't have the actual cacao
That's okay.
liquor in
That's
it or
okay.
something.
That's okay.
And it doesn't taste like cacao, certainly.
It doesn't have to taste like cacao. It tastes like white chocolate, and it's so good.
I agree entirely.
Yeah.
And I think it's versatile. And I think you can use it. You make like a white chocolate ganache and you can sort of like flavor it with anything you want.
No,
A little
I don't
cinnamon
agree.
and a white chocolate ganache.
I
You have a
don't
little
love-
cinnamon ganache.
No, I just like white chocolate. Like a bar of white chocolate, a good one. It's so much better than milk chocolate. It's so much better than dark chocolate.
I like white chocolate as an ingredient, not as like a plain eating thing. But I don't just like eat
disagree.
chocolate plain ever. I never just like want to eat plain chocolate. I love using it in things.
I like plain chocolate. I love chocolate.
We'll drizzle on a homemade Rice Krispie. I did a little white chocolate ganache, mixed some matcha powder in there, drizzled
Nice.
drizzled that on a matcha Rice Krispie with
nice.
shaved pistachios on top.
That's nice.
It's a treat.
That's nice.
What a treat.
I like it. You ever had that cocoa? Not that cocoa. The red berry. What is it called?
Yeah, ruby chocolate.
Ruby chocolate. You ever had it? It's white chocolate
Yeah, it's white chocolate.
with like red stuff in it.
Got some fun. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
I got
Have
a
you
new
ever-
You go.
No,
I-
you go.
So I had a new chocolate that was made with dates.
Oh. Have you ever had caramelized white chocolate?
Yeah.
I love caramelized.
That was a trend.
I love caramelized white
That
chocolate.
was a trend like 7-8 years ago. It's the best.
Caramelized white chocolate is like it's like chocolate and caramel, but not like not like how I'm describing it. It's like unexpected. One time I made a caramelized white chocolate gelato.
Golly.
My God.
Bring it back. Bring back caramelized white chocolate.
Then let's do it.
You just put the chips on a baking sheet, and I remember making it. You put it in the oven,
Mm-hmm.
and it bakes, and then you smear it around, and then it starts to get a little color. You smear it 2 more times.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. You know what? Have you ever had leche quemada ice cream?
Yeah.
Okay, leche quemada ice cream with, imagine this, leche quemada ice cream with caramelized white chocolate ganache on the top.
So leche quemada is scorched milk
Yes,
or burnt
or
milk.
smoked milk.
Smoked milk
Yeah,
ice
yeah,
cream. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I want to
Sounds
eat that
great.
right now.
A little salt in there, man?
Yeah, a little salt. Okay.
Well, thanks so much for
that
stopping
it?
by our podcast, The Hot Dog and Sandwich. We got new episodes out on audio platforms every Wednesday, new videos out every Sunday. Nicole, tell them where to call.
If you want to be featured on Opinions or Like Casseroles, give us a call at 833-DOG-POD-1. Our number again is 833-DOG-POD-1.
That's 833-DOG-POD-1. If you like watching us on a little device like an iPhone or maybe you can be watching on a smart fridge, you can do more of that on our YouTube channel, Mythical Kitchen, where we make funny little cooking videos and stuff.
I want a TV in my bathroom.
I want a TV on the bottom of my bathtub.
I want a TV right in front of my face.
I want to put a
like
giant
here, like on
TV
Bali.
above my bed so that way when... Never mind.